Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 86 of the Video Games Ahoy Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Daf Gape.
Hello.
Daf Weeks.
Hello there.
And Zach Hamilton.
Hello.
You're on an X Factor now. That's what I'm expecting. What kind of boy band would you be? Well, yeah, I want to know what boy band you'd be. I want to know what would be the cool one. That's all I want to know.
I'd be the one that the mums like.
You so would. You'd be the Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be the baby face.
I'd be the
And
one.
I'm also there.
Do we have to go back and show everyone?
Zach, you're the main attraction.
Zach's dancing. That's
No.
what we need to show.
Don't.
How are you doing, gents?
Very well.
Oh,
thank
very
you.
good. How are you?
I'm very good. We're doing a late one.
Ooh, baby.
So expect the jokes to be
Blue?
smuttier.
Video Games Ahoy After Dark.
Oh, they
Yeah.
got blue. Oh, they got blue.
Yeah, no, just worse. Just the jokes will get worse. I imagine that's just how it is because we're all tired. We're all tired, but we're all happy. I'm assuming.
Yeah, in the early shows when we do it at 5 o'clock, we withhold all of our racial slurs. But now, now we can say whatever we want.
We're coming for you, white people.
But I am glad you guys doing okay. We just had a nice fun time watching Dav stream. Davy G doing a little stream.
Yeah.
That was genuinely quite fun.
It's my first time playing Skyward Sword.
Are you going to talk about it later?
Nah.
Okay, well that's fine because I won't ask any
Yeah.
questions then because I personally think it's the best Zelda game. But you know, I actually came into your stream about 5 minutes ago, said that, and then run away.
I've only played like the first 4 hours, and the first 2 hours weren't good, but the subsequent 2 hours were good.
Oh, that's
so
good. That's good. I'm happy that it's so because lots of people think it's
50% hit
so
rate.
no.
So
That's what people think.
whoa.
But yeah. All right, Jen, should we just talk about the podcast and then just start talking about the news?
Yes.
If you are new to the podcast, if this is your first time, then we will guide you through the lands of this podcast.
Where are you going with this, Johnny?
I don't know. I started talking and then, as usual, I got lost.
Reminded me of the Mighty Boosh intro.
Yeah, it did have that vibe to it.
Time
yeah.
and space. The Mighty Boosh.
I've never seen the
Mighty
Boosh.
Boosh.
Rosie
Oh,
loves it.
dude.
Rosie loves it. I know, Zach, you love it as well. I know you're a big
Yeah,
fan.
dude, I
Great
think you
show.
like
Remember
it.
I went to see it live. I dressed up, for those that know, I dressed up as Tony Harrison.
Excellent.
Awesome, dude. I dressed up as the Hitcher when I went.
Nice.
Hang on, wait. Where did you go and see it? Maybe
Oh my
we went to
God.
the same place.
Cardiff.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
well, actually, this is the thing. We talk about almost meets. There's going to be an actual meet soon. We're all actually going to be able to see each other.
Yeah.
Like, Zach, we keep saying this, has never met the Davs in
We've
person.
Yeah.
Never
Real life.
never seen their tasty pink flesh. But oh, baby, he's going to see it soon.
Oh no! What are we
You're
doing?
right.
Back.
This is definitely after Watershed, isn't it?
Yeah. We're going to the Cardiff Bare Butt Convention, aren't we?
Yeah.
The CBBC.
Yeah, baby.
Also known as my wedding.
Yeah.
That's on the invites.
Oh,
Only
hey,
fans.
I'm going to wear a T-shirt with that on it.
Yeah.
Well, they say you need ring bearers.
Hey.
Right, how do I log off?
Right.
I'm done.
Bye. Mic drop out.
But yeah, going back to the podcast, we're all over the place, both literally and I guess just figuratively as well. Like we're just everywhere. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Google, all the places.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, Deezer.
Deezer.
Everyone forgets about Deezer.
Shame we're not on Bandcamp.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
that's true.
That's a whole new pointless revenue stream for us.
It's actually not on my list of news stories because it's
One
kind
day.
of not a news story. I don't know. It's a weird one. But anyway, let's just get into the news. Let's
All right.
talk about the news. First things first. Like, there's loads of like little stories, little munchable stories, rather than big juicy like things.
Go on, Johnny, chuck us a nugget.
So I'm gonna check you the first story, and that is Elden Ring. The UK release was the biggest launch for a game other than FIFA or Call of Duty since Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018. That's kind of shocking. Like, to me, that feels really shocking considering how niche it feels, but apparently not. According to digital and physical GSD sales data published on GamesIndustry.biz, the newest game sold over twice as well as Horizon Forbidden West, and even outsold Cyberpunk 2077 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Digital sales are said to account for over 68% of Elden Ring sales, with Xbox and PC being the largest digital platforms. Almost 85% of Elden Ring's Xbox sales were digital, as were around 73% of its PC sales. That's really interesting.
I guess part of the digital sales for the Xbox would be the fact that they released the Series S, which is all digital. And
yeah, that's a good point.
A lot of people use an Xbox, I'm guessing, as a Game Pass machine.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's a really good point. Apparently, it sold really well physically on the PlayStation. Like, really well physically, but apparently digitally, it's all Xbox, it seems, or Microsoft. But yeah.
I do have a question on the matter.
Yes.
I popped through a shop the other day and saw that it was on the PS4, and I did not expect that.
It is, and apparently, if you want to... Apparently, so actually, I've been reading a lot about this. It is better to buy the PS4 version and play it on the PS5. That's apparently one of the best versions to buy, purely because it can actually play at 60 frames per second. This is a really interesting topic, actually, because this has been spoken about a lot, and maybe we can talk about it now, because I guess we're talking about Elden Ring. And if you don't already know, then Elden Ring is reviewed as one of the best games of not just the year, but like of all time.
All time.
Yeah, 98 is the highest score ever reviewed, and that was Ocarina of Time. This has got 97. That's up with Breath of the Wild, with Mario Odyssey, with loads of other games. There's not many overall, but like loads of other like really huge games, if that makes sense. Like games you think about being 97. So it's up there. But what's really interesting is apparently it doesn't run very smoothly. And what I find interesting, I don't find that as a problem, but what I find interesting is that like Horizon Forbidden West, for instance, got marks taken off for not running well. So I find that really interesting.
Double standards.
No, well, I don't know if it's double standards because I haven't played Elden Ring. I just found it really interesting that apparently, it's weird.
Game quality, like, and performance. Does the higher the quality, the less the performance is judged?
I don't know.
You know, if you had like Anthem, if that was buggy as hell, it's gonna get panned. If Anthem ran really smoothly, it's still going to get panned because the quality of the game isn't there.
Yeah.
Whereas you get something like Elden Ring, which is this pantheon of gaming history now. Is it so good that it doesn't matter how garbage it runs? Although I've not seen that much about how badly it runs. But
apparently it's just more that it can't get 60 frames per second. It does like 30 to 45.
Sure.
So it's not. And the issue with Horizon Forbidden West, to be fair, is that it was actually just buggy. Like it had bugs rather than it running badly. If that makes it's weird.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like you made a really good point there. Like Breath of the Wild, like there's some parts of that game where it runs terribly. The forest. Oh my god, is it Korok Forest? Anyway, when you're in the forest, it runs at like 15 frames a second.
Yeah.
It's awful.
And Legends Arceus, which leveled out at about an 85, 86 on OpenCritic, Metacritic. That game runs like absolute trash. But it's fun. It's a good game. So
I guess also as well, like I guess it comes down to the reviewer themselves. Are you willing to dock it points because of how it plays, or can you overlook it because of what the game does? I don't know. That's an interesting topic, and we're gonna move on. Oh wait, no, Zach's got more.
Yeah, expectation is a big part of it. So like, because Breath of the Wild and Pokemon Legends Arceus are Nintendo games, they're more cartoony. They're on the Switch. You're expecting them to run badly. Really, like people are very forgiving of like, I know it's a long time ago, but very forgiving of Skyrim for being buggy as hell because it tried to do a lot at the time. And I think with Elden Ring, it seems to me it's trying to do a lot of things. I don't know. I don't. I mean, obviously, Horizon's supposed to be like one of the best looking games of all time, but at the same time, it does feel like more of the same rather than like.
It's a garbage franchise, though.
I don't know if you're joking.
I mean, to be fair,
I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel. I really feel really bad for them because they came out on the week of
Yeah.
Elden Ring, on the week of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But I still didn't really enjoy the first game that much.
I mean, if the first game is anything to go by, they're still going to sell 20 million units. So they're still going to sell loads. I just think, I think you're right as well. They've just the curse. I really want to know what's coming out the same week they release the third game now. Whatever, I mean, 2027 or whatever it comes out. Like
Horizon 3 comes out,
Yes.
something else will be out.
yeah, save your pennies, give it a week, and something groundbreaking will be out the week after. Very quick question, actually, just to top off this Elden Ring talk. Are any of you actually going to get it?
If it runs good on PS4, I'll get it. But I'm worried it's going to cyberpunk me.
You've been cyberpunked.
Like with like an Ashton Kutcher with like a cybernetic eye and stuff. Like,
Yeah, something like
Well,
that.
that's a reference.
yeah.
I love that. That's great. But yeah, okay, cool. Let's move on. We're gonna talk about Nintendo really quickly. Nintendo's released a free demo of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Me and Daf Weeks were just talking about this. The demo, which is available on the Switch eShop right now, includes 3 levels from the game's first world. Players will be able to try out the new mouthful mode, which lets Kirby inhale large real-world objects and use their properties to perform unique moves. Right, Daf Weeks, can you show me the face you pulled when we spoke about the demo for the first time like 10 minutes ago?
Okay, so
let me
it
reenact
looked-
this.
It looked a little bit like this. And if I had to do an audio version of
Yes,
that for the
please,
listeners
for the
at home,
listeners.
it would be something like, "Hi."
Okay, well,
Is
actually,
that positive or negative?
Positive.
Okay,
Posi-
good.
That was the positive version. The
Yes.
negative would be
So
how.
I've pre-ordered this.
I played the demo. In fact, Daf Weeks, why don't you tell us about your thoughts on it? Because I want to know.
All right, so it has all the bits of Kirby that I remember from the NES game, which I loved. I think it was the best game on the NES. All the lovely little tropes. The mechanics are all very similar. You know, there's all the lovely fun bits that you love in a 3D world. And I didn't know how well it would translate to a 3D environment. It surprisingly well. You know, it's really cute. It's really lovely.
Does it control a little bit like Luigi's Mansion?
More
Better.
like Mario 3D World.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like Mario 3D World, I'd say.
Yeah, it's the camera isn't as free as something like Odyssey, where you can
Sure.
literally just spin 360 wherever you want.
Yeah.
And that's kind of to its benefit because it kind of the camera perspective forces you in the right direction.
Like with a lot of Kirby games.
Yeah.
Nowadays, where they they are sort of like, oh, we're looking from this angle, but there's something above
we're
you,
going
so
this
we're
way
gonna
now.
we're gonna point you here.
Yeah, you know,
Nice. Okay.
at the end of the day, it's a kids' game. That kind of thing just fits. And then the aesthetics of it kind of is a bit more interesting. It kind of like, as I said before, I don't know why they've modeled it on The Last of Us, but I don't know why it's real world bits thrown in. And it kind of reminds me of Mario Odyssey in quite a few ways, but in one way, like this kind of chucking in random kind of real world elements. And that brings me onto the lovely bit of like, we're so used to Kirby sucking up enemies and gaining their power. Well, in this game, Kirby tries to suck up real world objects and fails because they can't like shrink in his belly. So he just drapes over things like
honestly,
and gains the powers, and it's really funny.
the
I found
vending,
it really
the
funny.
vending machine.
Kirby choking on the vending machine is quite funny.
It's genuinely
Who'd
really
have thought?
funny. It's really funny.
I feel like that is this game's equivalent of Super Mario Odyssey having Mario's nipples. Like seeing Mario's
forgot about
nipples is like Kirby choking on a vending machine.
Mario's nipples.
Oh,
Yes,
I forgot about
I'd
Mario's
forgotten
nipples,
about
but
that as
yeah.
well.
I feel
What a
like
time to
they've
be alive.
It feels like they've taken some of like the thought processes when they designed Odyssey and went, what if we did that kind of thing in Kirby? And I'm here for it.
So is Kirby going to be choking on Mario's nipples?
Yes, that's exactly what
Yes.
we're seeing.
Yes.
I
That
want
is
to see Kirby choking on Mario's nipples.
Yes.
Chicken patty, yes, Kirby was all right in the end.
Yeah.
You button mash for the Heimlich maneuver. and cops it
There you
down.
go. There's a title.
But I mean, from my perspective, I really enjoyed the demo. I thought it was really good, and I was always gonna buy the game anyway. But it kind of made me want to. It just kind of solidified for me that I was gonna buy it. It did make me feel like Mario Odyssey, and I love Mario Odyssey. It kind of felt like it could be that good, and also that song is stuck in my head now. Now that we've brought up Kirby, it's like do 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 like that, and because it plays so many times in the demo. So, but yeah, I think I don't know. I genuinely mean this. I'm not saying it will be the best game of the year, but I do think it could actually get a really good score and be one of the best games of the year. I mean, Mario Odyssey got a 97. I'm not saying it's going to get that, but I think it could be 90s. I think it could be like a 91.
Wow.
I think so.
Wow.
Personally, but what do I know? Nothing.
I just love it. I think it's
me too.
like I don't think it's going to be a great game, but Kirby games have never been as good as like Mario games, Zelda games. Yeah. But it's a different thing. It's just a different beast.
Yeah.
And I love it for what it is.
Yeah. I like that. You just wrapped it up in a nice little Daf Weeks bow. All right, let's move on. Very, very quick story. Resident Evil 7 and the recent remakes of Resident Evil 2 and 3 are coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X consoles later this year. Capcom has announced that you can get a free update, upgrade, patch, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, for free. I'm probably going to replay Resident Evil 2 because that was genuinely one of my favorite games from last year. I know it's not from last year, but I only played it for the first time last year. It was awesome. It made me understand why Resident Evil is a great franchise, but also why horror games can be really fun. I mean,
Nice.
other than watching Zack scream whilst he's wearing VR, that's fun for a different reason. But it's really good. I
With that too, man.
yeah.
PSVR 2, when that comes out, I'm diving in.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice.
That's
Diving
exciting.
in.
Yeah.
Is there a co-op on Resident Evil?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Because co-op VR,
No, that'd be
dude,
good, wouldn't it?
that's a stream.
That'd be pretty good.
That's a stream.
Let's move on. This is a Game Pass thing, and specifically one game I want to talk about because I think it's. I almost bought this game, and I mean this, about 2 weeks ago, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's coming to Game Pass on the March 10th, which is in 3 days as of this recording.
Oh,
I mean, this is the thing. I was going to buy Elden Ring, but I will probably play Guardians of the Galaxy. Now that I know it's on Game Pass, you know, and I know it's got a limited time, I'm just going to wait because I really want to play Guardians of the Galaxy. That game is... That game won, I was going to say an Oscar. It won the Game Oscars for Best Story, didn't it? It won the Best
narrative design or something?
something along those lines to do with the narrative. Apparently the narrative was best.
Not something you expect from a movie tie-in game. So.
Yeah, and
I know.
what's really sad
Well,
as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's not a movie tie-in game.
Yeah,
but
I
you
know.
know.
Yeah,
It was really sad because Square Enix came out and said they were disappointed in the sales. I'm like, it's because you didn't promote it. Like, it was barely promoted, and this is Guardians of the Galaxy, and it won awards because it was
Square
so good.
Enix do this all the time, though.
Yeah,
They did it with Rise of the Tomb Raider after it only came out on the Xbox One, which was a failing console. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we're not happy with how it sold. And it's like, you gave it a year exclusivity on a console that had like 3 units sold. Like, what were you expecting?
Yeah, very silly indeed. We've gone to Square Enix of another game we'll talk about. Actually, let's talk about it now just because we're talking about Square Enix, and I'll go back to the story I was going to talk about. Forspoken has been delayed 5 months until October. They said in a tweet, they said, we have made the decision to move the release date of Forspoken to October 11th, 2022. Our vision for this exciting new IP is to deliver a game world and hero that gamers across the globe will want to experience for years to come. So getting it right is extremely important to us. I've no problem with delays if it means the game's going to be better and people can have a better work-life balance.
Yeah.
However, there's a part of me that feels like, who remembered this season coming out? Has this even been spoken about, like, recently?
It was Forspoken.
Hey.
I only remember the reveal trailer.
Yeah.
And that was forever. Feels like that was forever ago, and then I completely forgot about
So
it.
the exact same thing, really, that like we were just talking about with Guardians of the Galaxy is happening to Forspoken, and they're delaying it by 5 months. Maybe the part of that is to be like, okay, we failed promoting Guardians of the Galaxy. We need to promote this game.
Yeah, I guess 5 months is enough time to then rework your marketing. But as far as like the actual game, you're only really going to be bug fixing and further QA testing. So the game's probably done by now, but they just need to fix stuff and market it properly. So I don't know. I'm a bit worried about this game. It didn't, even when they showed it the second time, it didn't really stand out to me.
Yeah, it's interesting.
The voice acting was a bit weird.
I actually said on the predictions podcast that I think it's going to review relatively well, but I don't know. But again, I think a lot of this is done to Square Enix. It just they're weird when it comes to promoting their games. Some they over promote and some they under promote, and I feel like this is the latter, sadly. But it's been delayed until October the 11th. Let's jump back a story, because this is a story that came out that I wrote about on here about 2 days ago and has been updated today, and this is about GTA 5. Okay, I want to ask you guys a question. Okay, do you think you'll have to pay for GTA 5 on the next gen consoles if you already own a copy?
Yes.
Not on Xbox.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually.
Only Daf Weeks got it right. You all have to pay. Which is ridiculous, because this game has been out in 2013 and they're not doing anything other than just like increasing frame rates and stabilizing the game and adding a few things here and there. This is not like do you remember we saw that preview a couple months ago and it was like, oh, it just looks cleaner.
The same.
Yeah. So basically,
how much?
So this is something I read like literally about half an hour ago. So I've just added this today. So on Xbox Series X and S, the Xbox Australia website lists GTA 5 for 50% off at I think it's 29 Australian dollars and 98 cents, and then so that's £16.50 until June the 14th, when the price will increase up to £33.
Wow!
So it's comparable to the price. It kind of hits on.
Yeah, like 16.
Really.
So basically, basically what the charge you've got until. When is it? June 14th to pay an upgrade charge of $16.50. Otherwise, you're paying £33.
Huh. But GTA
I've already
Online,
bought it twice.
I feel like GTA. Yeah, me too. I feel like GTA Online you can like get separately now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. You can actually get it separately. So that is basically just for
the campaign, isn't it?
If you want to upgrade the campaign, I guess, or if you want the online version of whatever the next gen version is.
God knows.
I don't know. It was interesting because I was willing. When I thought that it was just going to be upgraded, I was like, oh, I'll probably complete the story again because I quite enjoyed GTA 5. But I don't want to pay. I know it's only $16.50, but I've completed that game twice already on the Xbox 360 and the PS4. It's like this is the third generation. I'm like, no, I don't want to pay $16.50. I just don't want to do it.
No,
not when it runs perfectly well on the PS4. But there we are.
You play it now?
No, it's. I mean, when is it out?
No, I'm saying, like, do you play the copies that you have, like, at the moment?
Oh, GTA 5?
Yeah.
I haven't played GTA 5 in years.
Yeah, I'm not a fan really.
I don't really like it, and I don't really know any. I can't remember the last time I heard someone be like, "Oh, I can't wait to play GTA 5," or like,
it's the multiplayer in it. But I hate the multiplayer. I hate it so much. It's not for me. It's really not for me at all.
I think the RP servers sound so cool, but like I haven't got the time to that. I haven't got the time to walk around pretending to be a shoe salesman. Not when I'm out here selling real shoes. Buy my shoes.
Oh god!
Digital busman's holiday for you.
So we'll come on to our final story. This is something I guess we can celebrate a bit more, and we'll just chat about it a bit longer maybe. And that is the Switch is officially 5 years old now. March 3rd, 2017, it came out. So it's, 5 years old. So I just kind of just wanted to ask you just ask you all like nothing major. Just like, do you have like what would you? Do you have any favorite game? Like, what would your favorite games? Or where's the console rank for you as well? Like, is it up there as your favorites?
It is, quite honestly, I'd say my favorite console.
I would probably agree with that, but because of what it gave me on Toll, like Zach can attest to, like having it on Toll.
To be fair, I mean it's pretty amazing. Like that's possible. Like yeah. But I mean, I do think we're overlooking the Wii U. So
What?
Again.
The wee poo.
the Wii.
The Wii Poo. I'm not even sure
Satire.
I'm
That's
not.
satire.
Oh, I'm so topical.
What I love is that's probably never been said before. Because no one's ever heard of it. So like,
It's probably only been said when someone was trying to list the amount of things you can do in a toilet.
yeah, Wii Poo, other things.
Overheard in a lift at Nintendo.
So I actually when you asked us about like favorite Switch games, I made a short list of games, but the main thing that actually was a lot of the games are not either Switch exclusive or even new games at the time. But I think there are a lot of the ones that I listed were the ones that I just enjoyed the portability of most. One of which was like Dark Souls. I would never sit down and play Dark Souls at home because it takes a lot of time. I don't feel that doesn't bother me so much if I'm already like not doing anything. But my actual favorite exclusive Switch game is Pokken. Pokken is so underrated and so much fun.
I always remember
You love Pokken.
Yeah,
Pokken's so good, man.
I remember you playing that on the tour bus.
Yeah, and it's kind of what I always wanted from a Pokemon game because I when I was a kid, I was like the battle style of the anime where they just kick each other's asses, and they never really delivered on that in an RPG. They have always stuck with the turn-based thing, which I get. That is what Pokemon is, but I just think it would be cool to have all Pokemon battles, but like it's with like real time.
You on the Pokemon.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah. That's a really good shot. I'm surprised they haven't made a second game. But I guess, again, it was a Wii U game.
Yeah, no one really played it. So.
Yeah.
Even the Switch, like, no one really played it.
Which is a shame, because it did play really well, and I thought it is really interesting. That's like, you've actually answered, because one of my things was, I was only going to really going to ask favorite games, underrated gems, and I think that would come under an underrated gem.
Without saying Breath of the Wild, what's your favorite Switch game, Jonny?
I mean, honestly, there's
but
like honestly, like even if you took away Breath of the Wild, I would still probably say it's my favorite console of all time for the exact same reasons you've just said. Like, I completed I put 150 hours into The Witcher 3. Which is now one of my favorite games of all time.
Wow.
Which I don't think I could have done on. I've put about 30 hours into Horizon Forbidden West, and
you're sick of it 'cause it's awful.
It's just harder to do it on when you're on the TV, when you need the TV. And, when I share the TV with Rosie, I can't use it all the time. But like sitting down next to her while she's watching something that I don't really want to watch, get an hour here, an hour there. That's what I did with The Witcher. That's what I did Luigi's Mansion, that's what I did with, honestly, and as well, if I love the Switch for anything beyond Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade, for me, I've played two of my all-time favorite games in it, so I would just say just purely for Xenoblade, two other games I put over 100 hours into. I don't really have much else to say. I think I agree with Daf Weeks is my favorite console of all time.
Is it the same for the two of you, for both Davs? Is it the portability that makes it what it is for you, or?
I mean,
I think the software is just so damn good.
Yeah.
Just like you're talking the best games of so many franchises that already have amazing games in them are on the Switch.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true.
Including these games they brought over for some bygone console that I've never even heard of, to do with something you do on the toilet. One of my favorite games of all time is on the Switch, and it's a port of a Wii U game, and it's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Phenomenal. It's my favorite 2D platform of all time. I think it's the best one out there.
I think I agree. Yeah.
And it's great. And it's just a port of a Wii U game. And it's great. It's absolutely great. Yeah. And there's a game that's on PC. It's just such a good indie machine as well.
Yeah.
A fantastic JRPG called Cosmic Star Heroine. It's only about 12 hours long, but it's so good, and the writing's so witty, and the characters just go in weird directions. It's a really great game. Really highly recommend. And just being able to, just being able to play like an RPG on the go, like a tactical RPG, Fire Emblem, all those kind of games. Wargroove, fantastic indie game. It's like fantasy Advance Wars, more than a Fire Emblem. But really cool. Oh man, it's just such a good system, and it's so accessible. And I just wish it ran games better.
Do you think it has the best Nintendo first-party collection of games? Do you think it has the best collection of Nintendo games of all the Nintendo consoles? I think it does. Yeah. Like when you think as well, like Dav, you made a really good point in that it has some of the best. It has some of the best games in their respective series, or either the best game by reviews, or best-selling game in that series. It's either one or the other, or sometimes both. You know, it's mad. And considering where it came from, the Wii Poo, like it's just to go from that to go from selling 13 million units in 8 years to selling 25 million units in 1 year.
That's mad.
It's crazy. It's probably going to be the third best-selling console of all time, if not pushed for second and first.
It was kind of a big risk for them to do in a way, because like the Wii U did so badly that people took pay cuts. Like people were just, I don't remember who, but
Iwata.
A lot of the big.
Was it Iwata? He took a pay cut. Yeah, half his pay.
Like, all right, we fucked up. We're gonna do it again, but better this time. And like, that's kind of cool that they went and did that and just kind of trusted that they could get it right a second time. Because I just think, as much as we like take the piss out of the Wii U. It more than anything else, it just feels like a big misfire, just a big misstep. A lot of
like you say, I think the failure of the Wii U is really actually quite important to the success of the Switch.
Yeah.
Without the Wii U, maybe they wouldn't have pulled their finger out of their bottom and gave us the Nintendo Switch.
Well, it is interesting because the Switch is essentially the gamepad. It is it's almost laid out in the exact same way. So they might have logically gone to that next step, but you're right, they might not have got there as quickly as they did if the Wii U was a relative success. But as the way it's turned out, I mean, like I said, my favorite console of all time was purely a nostalgia thing, which was the N64. It is the Switch, and it's not really nostalgia because it's still happening. It was still here.
That's it. I think that's what I would. Like when the movies, like I'm with you. N64 is absolutely my console of choice. But the Switch, firstly, it has that content plus the equivalent content for nowadays, and I still get the same kind of joy. And as you say, it's an indie machine. You get all this other stuff, and you get stuff from other consoles. Like I was playing, I got Flashback, which was an old Mega Drive game. I could play like Sonic on it. I've got all these other stuff from other places, and Nintendo was like, oh, it's not just Nintendo anymore. You can get all this old stuff from other places too, and it's hard not to love it.
No, you're right.
And
you're right.
They're willing to experiment as well. Like I was just looking through games that I played through. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yeah.
Like, my God, that is probably my favorite game on Switch.
It's a belter. It's a genuinely
It's got rabbids in it. It's got bloody rabbids. Like, so what year are we in where rabbids are relevant?
And then they released
a new Rabbids game coming out this year.
And then
the rabbids are like worse than minions.
Yeah, they are.
But they're in this game, and it's so fun, and they're great. It works so well.
Rabbid Peach is hilarious.
Yeah, it's the best game Ubisoft have ever made.
I'm not sure I'd argue with that. It is genuinely one of my favorite games. And it introduced, for Rosie as well, introduced her to strategy games. She now loves Fire Emblem because of it. But I just want to talk about that briefly because it's 5 years. We don't know how much longer the Switch has got. It's soon enough. It's going to pass over into the sunset. And we'll all wave goodbye to our joysticks.
Well, not at least until the Mario Kart 8 DLC comes through, until the end of 2023. So we've got at least 2 years.
We're all right for a little bit.
What is a normal console? About 8 years? So
these days,
maybe another 2 to 3 years. I'd say 2024 feels like a good time for another console.
They just bring out a Switch Plus, and then it still counts as the Switch.
Yeah, it's true.
They're going to just follow Mario Kart's model now and just it's good. We're just going to keep running on that until it dies of old age.
And then eventually they'll bring out DLC for the Switch where you can get 48 controllers over the course of 2 years.
But each one will still not, in inverted commas, have Joy-Con drift.
Yeah, no such thing. There's no such thing.
It didn't happen. No, not a thing.
But yeah, I just thought we'd talk about that really quickly because I know we all have Nintendo, and I know we all have the Switch as well. But I just thought I'd mention that. That's the end of the news. We'll talk about games we've been playing. I'm not really going to talk much about games we've been playing, mostly because I haven't really got that much further into Horizon Forbidden West, and I've been really busy, so there's not much I can say other than the Kirby demo I got to play, and I've already kind of mentioned that. So. Does anyone else want to go? Does anyone else want to desperate to talk about something?
A quick one.
Oh, go for it.
So awesome thing. Just picking it up for the Switch. XCOM 2 with the DLC of it was 90% off on the Switch store.
Like a pound?
£3.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
£3.
That's mad.
For quite frankly, one of my favorite games. So I bought it again. And this time with the DLC.
Hey, great for the Switch.
Yeah.
How does it run?
Yeah, how does it run?
Not as good as PlayStation 4, quite honestly. But I mean, I'm putting less emphasis on the Switch running it badly and more emphasis that it's just a bit of a buggy game.
Sure.
Because it was clunky and buggy on the PS4 as well, and now it's just clunkier and buggier. But still very playable, still very fun. And I'll always enjoy looking at the silly little moments when like aliens randomly appear and disappear in cutscenes. Always funny.
Yeah.
Bit frustrating when you do an action, and because it causes such chaos, it takes about 30 seconds to load that chaos. That's a bit annoying. Still very playable.
Would you please play XCOM Chimera Squad?
Sure. Yeah, if I find it, I will.
Well, we just had a conversation about you being able to play Steam games on your TV, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
I downloaded the Steam Link app on my TV and saw if it worked, and it does work. So yeah.
And it's turn-based, so it doesn't matter if there's loading times.
Exactly.
Like stream
laggy lags.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd absolutely give that a go.
It's like 14 quid as well.
I kind of forgot that.
Be the second person to play it, Dav.
Yeah. Some poor sod needs to do it.
I'm the only one. I'm the only one that's ever played it. Yeah.
Because you imagine, like, they look at the notes and like, the only people we're selling this to are people called Dav.
It's a very niche demographic.
Awesome. Yeah, but does it run well enough that you could actually complete the game and be fine with it, or is it like genuinely? Yes. Oh, there we are. That's great.
Oh, it's very, very much playable.
£3. Like, that's awesome then.
For £3, I think it's very playable.
Yeah, fair enough. Jeez, awesome. Zach, Davici, anything you want to talk about?
Yeah. Let's talk about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Oh, you bought it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Ooh.
After 8 PM, boys.
God, this game is sexy. Like, at one point, there was a locked door, and in the middle was this little sort of domed chrome bit. And I was just like, looking at it from different angles, because the ray tracing is absolutely sensational. I was like, oh.
Is it as good as the ray tracing of the domed orb that is Mario's nipple?
It's different.
Right, Mario's domed nipple. I mean, that's not something I imagine we'd talk about.
It's equal but different, right? Less hairy. But oh my god, like, this game is gorgeous. It's absolutely sensational, and the combat is amazing. The guns are really cool. A lot of new guns that I've never seen before in Ratchet and Clank games. When I played the Ratchet and Clank reboot, one of my issues was that, issue/good thing, like, you were familiar with a lot of these weapons because they were coming out from older games. And I think there was maybe one new weapon, but everything else, it just felt like, I'm unlocking a new weapon and it's not really useful. And you want to try and level up all the different weapons, and then they've got all these like skill trees and stuff that you all the rest of it. But in this game, every new weapon you unlock, like, it'll pop up on the shop for Miss Zircon's shop, and you go there and you're like, oh, I can't afford that, but my god, I want it. And yeah, like, there's just so many good fun weapons. There's one called, I think it's called Mr. Topiary, and you shoot it, and it's a sprinkler, and any enemy it hits, they turn into a bush.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and there's another weapon which shoots out. It's called the fungi. Maybe that's called Mr. Fungi. I don't know what the topiary one's called. And topiary buster, anyway. Mr. Fungi, and it shoots out these mushrooms that like spit venom at different enemies and stuff. And it's got some classic ones like the Glove of Doom, which shoots out these miniature robots that go and shoot everyone. It's got really good ice gun that turns them into ice cubes and stuff, and all these together, and like you're always like, right, what I'm gonna. And I was looking at the trophies, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll platinum this game because it's just so fun to kill aliens in this game, and it's the vibes are so wonderful. So basically, Ratchet and Clank, the classic duo, they get split up. And then Clank ends up with this other Lombax called Rivet, and Ratchet finds another robot called Kit. And so you have all these different relationships that are building, and a lot of it is about friendship and about trust, and some really nice themes going throughout the whole game. And then you get to a point eventually, minor spoiler, where Ratchet and Clank see each other again. I mean, it's going to happen. No. But then Ratchet and Clank then start teaming up, and Rivet then teams up with Kit. And so then you've got this brand new relationship really quite far into the game. So like you're exploring these different characters and the relationships with each other, and their themes of like identity, and sort of these Lombaxes are like the only Lombaxes in their dimensions, because the whole Lombax race had to like vanish into another dimension to avoid being wiped out. And so this whole idea of like Ratchet wants to meet his family, but he's unsure if they'll want to take him in, and all this sort of stuff. Because it's just really lovely themes, very sort of 2021, 2022 themes of sort of and they approach them really nicely, and it's just a lovely game to experience and just go through. And like every box, even though a box may only have like 10 bolts in and you need maybe 35,000 to unlock the next gun, it's so fun. You're just like, I'm gonna hit that box. I'm gonna hit that box. And the grind rails, and it's just the game is designed to be fun and lovely, and it is both of those in spades.
Daf, where did you get it from?
I got it because I've got a PS5 digital.
Oh yeah, of course.
My partner's granny gave me a 50 quid PlayStation voucher for Christmas, and they put Ratchet and Clank on sale, so it was like 50 quid. So I was like, sweet, bang, done. Otherwise I probably would have had to wait a bit more. Yeah,
because I've been waiting to see till it drops in price. That and Returnal, actually, because I really want to play Returnal. I really want to see what that's like. But yeah, that's really good. I'm glad that it is so good, because it's been on my watch list for a long time. I just haven't had it's like 70 quid. That's whole conversation.
Yep. But I haven't completed it yet, but it's already one of my top games of the last decade.
Oh wow.
It's absolutely sensational, and it's got that same thing about like Psychonauts 2 had, where like you want to explore this world and you want to meet all these different characters, and all the characters feel unique and have a story to tell. But it's fun. It's all fun.
Order to drink. Hydrate.
Thank you, Loco Nico. I've got some coffee left over.
Awesome. Thanks, Daf. Like genuinely, are you streaming that at all?
No, I'm not. That's for me.
That's for you. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Zach, do you have anything you've been playing, man?
I haven't had very much time the last couple of weeks. I am still technically playing Spider-Man, but I have not really been interested in playing anymore. But I did play the latest Mario Party over this weekend.
Nice.
And, not very much to say on it, except for if you know what Mario Party is and you played it before, it's that, but just nice and new with
It's a blast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Fresh with the paint to it, and we didn't play that many games, but it felt fresh, felt nice, felt like how I feel like a Mario Party game should feel.
Have you?
Compared to Super Mario Party.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it better than Super Mario Party?
But I didn't.
Night and day.
Good thing. Yeah. I can say for definite, it's very much what you expect from standard Mario Party.
Awesome.
basically what people want, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my gaming week.
But Dav's totally right. Night and day. Like what they do with this game and how they get all the different mini games in and the classic boards and reinvent them for a new, not generation, but a new sort of, new aesthetic. It's beautiful and it just feels like Mario Party, whereas the other one just felt like too clean. Like it's like, oh, we can't offend anyone, and let's make sure, like, let's give everyone sort of a blue shell equivalent. And this game is like, nah, you're gonna hate everyone, and you're gonna love that you hate everyone.
Yeah, that's what made Mario Party so good in the old days.
Right,
that was the thing. Like, it was, I don't know. That's good to hear. That's really, really good to hear.
It went back to square one, and it's like nobody wanted the changes they made in Super Mario Party, and I think they realized that.
That seems like it's us. Although by next week I might have another game to talk about, maybe through me, maybe through Rosie, because she's about to buy Triangle Strategy. So I'll let you know where that stands with her, because I think that'll be on. Honestly, she's my fire. She's basically my Fire Emblem correspondent at this point. Whenever I hear Fire Emblem news, she's like, "Well, it's the genealogy of the Holy War," and I'm like, "Okay, she knows." Like, it's really funny because I remember buying Fire Emblem Three Houses, thinking, "Oh, this is a game I'm going to enjoy," and to know that I know like maybe 1% of what she knows about the series now is just quite funny.
Well, the problem is that Rosie's really intelligent.
Yes.
So, like, she can read this stuff in the game and actually remember it and, like, understand.
You could have stopped her. She can read, and that would have been enough.
My problem with Rosie is she can read, and it's quite threatening.
Yeah, bitch.
She's overstepping
her.
All this reading malarkey.
She did start playing the demo, and she was in. It was one of those things where I'm like, we hadn't decided whether she was going to buy it, and I was like, well, play the demo because you get the first like 3 chapters free, and she played like the first chapter. She's like, yeah, I'm getting this game. I was like, yeah, of course you are.
So funny, I had the absolutely opposite reaction.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. It reviewed fairly okay, but like I've heard that
I can't read. That's the problem. There's just so much reading. I played it for like 2.5 hours, and there was 2 battles.
Yeah, that's
whereas. I'm not going to talk about it much, but I'm playing Fire Emblem Echo Shadow of Valencia on 3DS, having an absolute whale of a time, and it's just battle.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. But yeah, we'll leave that there. We'll leave it there. Thanks everyone. Thank you for joining us. That's to all you lovely people listening and watching, and thanks again, you guys, for coming quite late, because this is a fairly late one. We probably will end up sticking to this time, at least for the foreseeable future. So 8 o'clock on Mondays instead of 6 o'clock.
It's nice. I miss raiding in.
Yeah.
I used to raid in, and then it went to raiding out. But I like to raid in. It's nice.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Are we going to do some raiding ourselves, Dav?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we're going to raid. Dav's going to do the raid. Oh, we're already raiding someone.
Hope you like Paper Mario.
Who doesn't? But we'll leave it there. Thanks again, everyone. That was the 86th episode of the podcast, which is mad. We'll leave it there. We'll do some raiding, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.
Tatty bye.